Hi, welcome to Deel. We are happy to have you on board. We know that you may have many questions as you onboard with us in the UAE, so we will be going through some country-specific information such as compliance documents, visa application process, and medical insurance enrollment. In the UAE, there are 4 compliance documents in total that are required for the onboarding process. At the beginning, you will be required to upload your passport photo, CV, and proof of employment eligibility. If it's your first time in the UAE, please upload your passport copy as proof of employment eligibility. If you are currently in the UAE and holding a work permit, you need to upload it so our mobility team can review. Once our mobility team completes the review, they will be reaching out to you if visa assistance is needed, and they will start the process with our immigration partner in the UAE. I will be providing more details on the visa process in the following slide. The average processing timeline is 4 to 5 weeks from the time all documentation required is provided and the application is submitted. These timelines can vary depending on authorities if they have to perform additional security checks and can take less if the employee was holding a previous residence visa in the UAE. For example, they will not be required to provide biometrics registration unless requested by the authorities. In the UAE, we have partnered with Ethnic to cover you under the Gold Network plan. You will be enrolled in health insurance as part of the visa process once the medical exam is done, as it's mandatory to be covered so the Emirates ID can be granted. Employees will be covered 100% and clients will choose to cover dependents 0%, 50%, and 100%. If clients do not cover your dependents, the relevant amount will be deducted from your salary. Thank you for taking time to learn more about Deel. We hope this information was helpful to you and your onboarding journey.
Work's gone global, but until now, no HR platform has been able to handle everything for everyone. Some teams have to use up to 16 different tools to make things work. Deel's the future of global HR, and it's the only platform that works for your team wherever they are, whatever their status. Easily handle international hiring, payroll, and HR with one powerful platform. Hire contractors and employees worldwide, even if you don't own an entity. Once you find a candidate, onboard them with a localized contract and a visa if needed. We even provide powerful salary insights so you can be sure your offer's competitive, and we'll automatically collect any necessary compliance documents. Get your team set up fast with built-in background checks, equipment, WeWork passes, and effortless app access. Then manage the entire worker lifecycle through one central HR platform designed with global teams in mind. Plus, handle time off, promotions, and bonuses all in a few clicks. Deel integrates with any tool to help keep your data and workflows synced. You'll get a first-of-its-kind worldview of your entire team's headcount, payroll, and productivity in one place. On payday, consolidate payroll for contractors, international, and local employees. We'll take care of the contractor invoicing, plus employee taxes, benefits, pay slips, and more. Deel has everything you need to run a global team efficiently, and it's the only platform built for everyone and everything, everywhere. Learn how Deel can simplify your global team needs at deel.com.
I'm Guy from Deel. We help businesses all over the world to compliantly hire and pay anyone, anywhere. However, managing payments and compliance for independent contractors can be, well, not great and a little tricky. Luckily, I'm here and you're watching this. I've got the hang of this thing now. Yeah. When paying contractors, there are a lot of things to consider. A few that come to mind include transfer fees, exchange rates, various payment methods, managing invoices, and of course, the big one, compliance. Okay, so say you're hiring in Japan or Canada, chances are your contractors are going to want to get paid in the local currency and also in the payment method they prefer. Payment providers like TransferWise and Payoneer are also really common with contractors. These payment methods can save money on things like exchange rates and transfer fees. And just to make things a little bit more complicated, each country has its own way of handling things, like local account details like IBANs and routing numbers. It's also super important to make sure that whoever you're contracting with and whatever their location, you have a solid localized agreement in place. You also need to make sure that anyone you work with is correctly registered and set up to work as a contractor in their country of residence. Every country has a different way of doing this. So if your business doesn't set these things up correctly in a contractor agreement, your business can get into a bit of trouble with local governments. Even if your working relationship seems all good on the surface, your business can end up paying hefty fines if the contract is incorrect. I know what you're thinking, a lot of moving parts, right? Along with this, you also need to deal with invoices for every payment. Yeah, doing this for one contractor may be manageable, but what happens when you're starting to work with 10, 20, 30 contractors? It can turn into a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so let's split these payment options up. When paying contractors, you have a few options: a bank transfer, a payment provider, or deal. Paying through international bank transfers. Yes, it is possible to pay a contractor using an international bank transfer. All you need is their account details, and then you can usually take care of the payment using your online bank. But there are a few things to consider. The most important is making sure that they get the total amount you agreed on. When you transfer money internationally, it usually happens via SWIFT. This means some fees and exchange rates are involved with markups of up to 3 to 5%. So after all these deductions, it's tough to know exactly how much the contractor will receive, plus these payments sometimes can take up to 5 days. Okay, so let's take a quick break and talk about another option: paying via payment providers. Using payment platforms like TransferWise and Mercury gives you a lot more clarity into what fees you'll actually incur. You can also make bulk payments in multiple currencies at the same time, so your finance team gets a little break there. But there are some things that you'll still need to handle manually. They include things like collecting and paying invoices, handling tax compliance, and sending the money manually. So doing this for a large team or even a few contractors can be a lot of hassle. And most crucially, without a solid localized agreement in place, you're exposing your business to a lot of risk. As I mentioned earlier, if your business doesn't set these things up correctly in an agreement, your business can get into a bit of trouble with local governments. So we should probably talk about Deel, right? Well, we streamline worldwide compliance and payments for global teams. This means companies can compliantly and seamlessly pay contractors and employees all over the world. We ensure all contractors can work and get paid no matter where they're located. From collecting legal documents to making payments with fully compliant contracts, it's all done for you. Any business can quickly review their team's salaries anytime and fund payroll in just a single click with one mass payment in multiple currencies. Plus, the money arrives to the contractor's account on payday through whichever payment methods that they prefer. Lastly, but most importantly, you'll also get instant digital invoices for every payment made. Contractors no longer need to generate them, and will seamlessly sync everything with your favorite accounting software. So, that's the deal. Now let's give your team the experience they deserve. Sababa? And that's a wrap.